Welcome to Surfer of Life, the show where we surf on the waves of life. This week's episode is with Josafath Herrera. I'm so happy and honored to meet Josafath the second time since he was here in Finland teaching Koga method and Systema. This time we spoke about stress management, and who would actually be a better person to talk about stress management than a person who's been born and raised in one of the most stressful cities in the world, Mexico City. Josafath also teaches stress management in combat and normal life as well. He's a passionate martial artist and a personal coach. And he truly is my personal coach. I had so good time with him again while he was teaching me these important lessons. We actually spoke a couple of hours after this show because there were so many things to learn from this beautiful gentleman. I hope you truly enjoy this episode as much as I did. Please enjoy Josafath Herrera.
Hi, my name is Josafath Herrera from Mexico City. I'm a personal coach and a passionate martial artist. What is interesting is that you can say, hey, I'm this moment attacking. If you have conscious and decide to be on that state, that's in some way very good because you have the conscious and you consciously decide, hey, I want to be stressed. Okay, it's good. In some way, it's less stressful because you accept it. When you start to talk, hey, we have demons inside. No, I don't have it. You have it. You just say it. You don't want to go there. Of course, we don't have to go in life like saying, oh, I am traumatized. But in some way, we express it. That's our personality. You start to build consciously skills and attributes that they will become unconsciously. That's what real mastery it is about stress management.
Great to have you back in the show, Josafath.
It's an honor to me.
Yeah. Last time we met here as well in Finland and actually at Johnny's apartment, but now it's a different location, but pretty near.
Different location, very nice, new dog, so Jonathan is enjoying life very good.
That's very good. I'm so happy to have you here, and today I want to talk about pretty much about one topic. Mm-hmm. Last time we went through a lot of things, and if the listeners haven't already checked that episode, please go and see what Josafath had to say in the first meeting we had. Nice conversation. We were talking about a lot of things. Yeah.
Interview.
Yes. You're here to teach again Systema and Koga method, right, here in Finland.
Yeah, I'm teaching the Koga method, which is more oriented for security personnel, and Systema, which is for practice of Russian martial arts. But I try to teach all the time more than physical skills. I try to have more a human approach to what is martial arts. So it's not really only Systema and Koga, it's more my understanding about life via this language, which is the martial art path.
Yes. Stress management is the topic today, and really got into it. I was planning something maybe different for today, but this morning kind of woke me up because I was having a little bit stressful moment. Like my kids woke up and they were shouting and blah blah blah.
Any person.
And the schedule was running out and all kind of things. And I realized that I've been learning to handle the stressful moments better. I'm doing the Wim Hof method thing a lot, but I realized that there's still so much to learn because I was not fully able to control myself and my emotions and all the feelings I had inside. But let's talk about the word stress. What does the word stress mean to you?
Well, not going to scientific or normal definition, let's say we get stressed because, well, what is stress first? First is something that takes us out of our comfort zone. That's definitely, I think, is one of the best definition. When it's out of your comfort zone, that's when you feel stress. Some people enjoy this type of stress. Some people accept that stress and becomes usual. And some people don't like stress. So that depends more on the personality of the person. And why we get in stress, that's very interesting, because that's not, stress comes from inside you, not from outside. So for some people, some situations could be stressful, for some people can't be stressful. Yeah, I know about the noise.
Oh yeah, it's a background noise, okay.
Okay. It's not a bar, okay? you can see.
Stress is an important response we have in our bodies. We need that in certain situations. But of course, it's good to handle that stress, and occasionally, like nowadays, people are very stressful during every day, and they're working, and the work continues at home, and they live in this stressful lifestyle, and they are not able to come out of that stressful mindset or pattern or whatever you call it. How do you teach people through Systema, through Koga, through martial arts to control this stressful situation? Or maybe you first tell me like an example that you would have in martial arts, that what is a stressful situation?
Well, we have to first agree that martial art, as my understanding and our thought, is a language we use for understanding life. Some people use a different language. They use skateboarding, they use playing the piano, painting. So we understand this world we live by this language. So for answering you in a martial art way, maybe not make sense to other people because it's different language. Okay. But in martial art, as my understanding, I thought it's method for living, obviously, via training your body and your mind and your spirit in some way. Speaking about a specific method, how Systema teach it, which is with the Russian martial art, or by my mentor Koga, will be very little. Makes sense? It's like, okay, I can give an example, like, in martial arts speak about breathing. That would be like, okay, that easy to say, difficult to do, but it will not be fair. I think so. It will not be fair for any method, because it's not looking at the big picture about managing stress. I would want to return to the sentence where I say stress is unique to each person. Some people get stressed because they hear some sounds, and this sound make remember them about how they were. They have been abused. So it's very different. I can hear a music for some performer, and that remembers me the bad times I have in the past. Martial arts, to understand about stress, you have to go to your fears and your demons. That's the difference. So you understand, when you train for a while and you have good guidance, that the real thing to control is not the stressors outside you, is the stressors or the demons or the fears you have inside. So when you train with these fears, accepting them, first knowing them, which is the hardest part. It takes humility to really go in the cave, in the dark cave of your soul and heart, and really be honest and have the courage to look to them. So when you discover like consciously in this subconscious world, that's when the real battle appears. Because normally some people find the demons, the fears, but they don't want to challenge them because it's not. The truth is, these demons, they never disappear. You just become friends with them because they are very internal. So I answer you in a more normal answer would be, you have to find what makes you stress, not from the persons or the situation outside you. In martial art, it's more looking what makes you stress and accepting and trying to understand why you get this stress. Makes sense in some way? So anything that you think is provoking you stress is really not provoking you. You are affected by something inside you. Like jumping in an airplane is, in reality, if you jump from a parachute, some people can say it's a natural response to altitude, but some people, they don't respond. They enjoy it, right? So it's not about the hate, it's because they accept it. So it's more inside you. So my understanding about martial art, that was one of the differences. You start looking outside you, the enemy, but then you find, oh no, it's me. It's my fears. So that would be my answer about.
What kind of reactions you have seen in people when they are really digging deeper and trying to figure out their demons?
Avoidance. Avoidance. We all have that. It's natural. We don't go to the fire. Firemen go to the fire, but they need to train to go to fire. That's a fact. So it's the same. You go to a place where there's fire inside you. You don't like it because that's you. So the first normal reaction first is to get inside your own cave, period. Now you get in, you find something, you don't like it. So the reality is you need someone that teach you at least to be, not to be brave, but person that go inside their cave and fight these fears, stressors. They have managed their own stressors. They are working on that. Some people will say that's a spiritual path, or some people will say that's a psychological approach. But the first response is avoidance. You don't want to be there. You don't like it. As a matter of fact, you don't enjoy it. But that's the part. That's part of taking out that stress. I'm going to give you a simple example. People complain, most people that work hard and have stress and they complain about stress, the most simple answer would be, well, don't work or change your work. But then they don't want it. I'm not saying they have to change your work, but they have to change several habits they have with this work, but they don't want it. It's avoidance. Because once they discover it's the work, then we found excuses. But I need the job, I need the money, etc., 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 etc. So that's avoidance in some way. In a simple way, it's avoidance. You know the answer. You found it, but you don't want to apply it. Why? Because you have many whys. But the answer is simple. So avoidance, when you get more deep inside and you find these fears or stressors, that's the first answer. That's the first response we have.
So stepping out of the comfort zone is not very easy for people.
No, I think there are people that maybe they have the DNA, but they don't know how to do it, to manage this. We all have that. If we go to a scientific approach, animals, they are built to adapt. We are built to adapt. If we don't drink enough water, we can survive. I mean, in some way, with not food, or with this type of food, or we are in the cold. If we have the time to adapt, we will adapt. That doesn't mean it's going to be healthy, but we adapt. So, in some way, we can adapt to many things, even for stress.
How do you teach people to go to that uncomfortable zone? Because you are doing that.
Talking about that. People. No, that's true. Talking about that. Mm-hmm. Okay, simple stress, work. Okay. No, sometimes stress has a face that is like very obvious. I have stress in my work, or I'm stressful about this situation. Sometimes it's true, it's very simple effect. But many times there are more deep stressors that we don't go. So what I like, me personally, is to see or to try to help in the more deep fears. Not really life-death situations. You know, like when you teach police or you teach security or you teach army guys, but more for the human problems. So helping them, how do I help them? How do I help them? Talking about it. That you say, in reality, this is what we have. All humans have this. We all have traumas. We all have. There's no, even falling, when you're a kid and you fall, you have a trauma. But it's just, we say a normal trauma. But what is interesting, and I think psychologists maybe will agree if someone is hearing this, if we fall and our mother or father or the person in charge had a bad reaction to that fall, we have traumatized. Now we know this trauma can affect us in our future life. But it's normal, it's natural, it's something natural. So when you start to talk, hey, we have demons inside. No, I don't have it. You have it. You just say it. You don't want to go there. Of course, we don't have to go in life like saying, oh, I am traumatized. But in some way we express it. That's our personality. But the journey is about to be conscious about that. If you are not conscious, that's the sad part of being human. And I'm not speaking about, how do you say, people trying to manage you and this, how do you say, these plans to rule you. Even then, if it is true or not, that's not important. If you have conscious, then you can grow and evolve as human being. But the problem is there's no conscious. So consciousness.
How can we build up this consciousness? What is the first step? Is it understanding that you really have those demons, or how to develop this consciousness?
This is very interesting because it has been studied in more high levels, really high levels than me. And my understanding, which is not maybe the right, but it's my understanding, and that's the way I help, is based part of it on Joseph Campbell's The Hero Journey. And in the hero journey, it starts with a call. Something happened in the world of the hero that affect him. That's what I have seen. For example, when people approach to martial arts, it's because normally something happened to them. They have this fear, they have this situation, so that's my understanding. Because if nothing happened to you, you're going to be unconscious. So normally it's like a call. Something in your comfort world happened that makes you think something is strange here. That's when the path or the path starts for this situation. So it's not easy. It has to happen something. Otherwise you are in the comfort zone. But it's something is gonna happen sooner or late. It happened. If you see any movies about comfort zone, you find a nice girl and then change world, or nice guy, or adventure, or a horror movie, comfort zone, and something happens. So it's something happened in your life. It's gonna happen.
But it needs really to happen to you somehow, or is there any way to teach people to go there? Is it like if you use some physical methods, maybe breathing you mentioned already, or something like this?
Well, the truth is, when they approach to martial arts, because something has happened in their life. If someone have the confidence or take the risk to approach to you and talk to you, just ask a simple question, that means something happened, because in his mind or her mind, he has just realized, wow, maybe this person can help me. Maybe this person can have something to say to me, give me an advice. Make sense? So when you have a position or specific situation and people come to you to talk, it's no matter of me trying to help them. It's useful. So many times it's useful, like me in this position or any position. You start it. Normally they approach you. And sometimes you are talking and people open because they found something in your words that say, hey, it happened to me. How did you manage this? Okay?
Yeah. You are traveling all around the world and you see and meet a lot of people.
Not around the world, in Europe and America.
Okay, but it is around
okay,
the
I
world,
know some people.
Anyways,
okay, I'm sorry.
You see a lot of people. You are from Mexico City, from a big city yourself.
One of the most stressful cities in the world. That's true.
Yes. Have you seen changes during the 10 years? Are people more stressed out nowadays than 10 years ago? Is it the same situation?
In a city, they are all the time stressed. It doesn't change.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's politics, they get stressed, elections, then comes earthquake, then at least in my country, then comes, could be good stress, like, football. Football makes you stress, it's a good stress, but still people are getting out of their comfort zone. They want to see the game, they get upset, so it's no matter of more or less stress, it's matter of, that's life for me. That's life. So it's not that the city or place are getting stressed. We live in a world that, depending on your filters, make you stress. Now, the truth, you say something very smart. You say we need stress. You can't live in the mountains, even if you want to be in the mountains. Maybe you are enlightened. Maybe you can. You don't need no one. Really, I'm not saying a sociopath. I'm just saying, like, I live in nirvana, okay? Like, that's dangerous for me. That's dangerous because what are you going to do? My mentor used to say that. He said, you are very calm person. You want to live in the, top level of the nirvana. But the train is coming to you. If you don't move, he's going to hit you. And you say, hey, I don't care about dying. It's not about not dying. It's just common sense. Why? Because you have the gift to be in this plane, to enjoy what many people say is a carnival of many planes, human, more evolved energies. So you are enjoying food, you are enjoying life, you are enjoying many things, and you just don't want to be here because you want to be in another level. So it's like, why you don't want to be in this carnival? It's for, if it is an energy named soul, you just have infinity life and you just waste part of this trying to be where you're going to be by natural. You don't have to do anything to be on that. That's reality. You don't have to do You don't have this energy that we can say, I'm just trying to be more deep. You have this beautiful soul, which is going to be forever, eternal. And they give you the opportunity to enjoy this body, sensations, frustrations, and you want to be in another plane. That doesn't mean we don't work in this level to be there. But if you don't have stress, or you want to avoid this stress, and you get to that point, which is very difficult, you won't evolve. There's no point to be here. Makes sense? So you say something smart. We need stress. That's true. We need stress to understand we are not that we are vulnerable, and discover vulnerability make us be conscious. Okay.
Is this conscious part that why people seem not to enjoy their being on this planet Earth? Like you said, it's a big carnival.
Because we are humans. We are humans. We are perfect, not perfect persons. So we have to have stress. That's the way we evolve. Some people get this stress, but they make it natural. They don't see and they don't hear the message, or they don't hear specific things. Now, I'm not saying person that gets in my house and want to rob me, assault me, or do something to the family, to my daughter, doesn't mean I have to be in my comfort zone. In my case, I don't want that. So this stress makes me train and prepare other people. In my case, some people avoid it. Oh no, I don't like violence. And you talk to them. What is going to happen? What are you going to do? Oh, they say God will decide, or the universe will decide, which is not fair, because it's like, hey, you have freedom of thought and decision. So what are you doing with this gift? You are not an animal. It's like, so stress is good if you start to learn about yourself, about how to manage your response to that stress. So what we really want to learn is how we change inside under certain stressors. And if you learn about it, there's only the fly, flee, freeze, and some people now put posture to that stressor. If you learn and you understand, hey, I'm at this moment. What is interesting is that you can say, hey, I'm this moment attacking. If you have conscious and decide to be on that state, that's in some way very good, because you have the conscious and you consciously decide, hey, I want to be stressed. Okay, it's good. In some way, it's less stressful because you accept it. Makes sense in some way?
You see different situations. How do they vary it if people are working on an unconscious level and something like this happens? Somebody assaults you or talks bad at you and you're not really conscious in the moment. And then compared to the persons that really understand the situation and are conscious in the situations. Can you give me any examples? Like differentiate these two situations?
We will use the example that some people use about fireman. It's not natural to go to fire. So your unconscious answer is not go to the fire, because it's something you learn when you don't. It's not natural because you learn it. Okay, that's reality. You learn it by trial and error. Okay, like electricity. So unconsciously on that level, you don't want to go, or you feel pain. Normally we change because two things. Human beings change because two things: fear and pain, basically. Pain can be emotionally, physically, basically, spiritual. And fear can be from thoughts or feelings. Make sense? So when people feel these two things or have these two elements, they change their behavior. They change it for future things and at that moment. So when we don't want, if human beings don't want to go to fire unconsciously, you consciously start to build the attributes and the skills, depending on what you want to do, to go to fire. You train it in a way. There are many ways to train people. That's a fact. You can train them fast with bad, what we can say bad trauma, or we can train fast with good trauma. We can train it long with a good trauma, or we can train it long with a bad trauma results. So we can train someone to go to fire, for example, saying, hey, if you don't go, I'm going to put a bullet in your head. That's a bad trauma. You will go, but it makes sense. Or you can say, hey, you have to go there, but you build, hey, this is only heat. It's not going to burn. So in some way, the person is more comfortable. So you start to build the skills. And at the end, you have a fake fire, doing the whole drill, the whole scenario, and the person is under stress, but he has trust on himself, which would be different than punishment. And so that's when you say good trauma, but trauma, okay? So you start to build consciously skills and attributes that they will become unconsciously. That's what real mastery it is about stress management. It's not about taking the stress you can take the stress like that. Picture this. A person can be traumatized in 5 seconds. Any person can be traumatized. You are on a skateboard, you fall, you break basically maybe the hip bone, you will be traumatized because the effect is going to last a lot. It's not physical, it will recover. Emotional, it's going to last for a while. Makes sense? If you play football and you have a tibia peroné,
Yeah.
a complete break, it's going to be traumatized when someone gets to you with the same type of defense. So it only takes less than 5 seconds most time to traumatize someone. That makes you think, if I can traumatize bad someone, I can traumatize good in 5 seconds. It's just we don't see that. We don't see that. But it's a fact. The mastery comes from people who can traumatize in a good way. Trauma is not bad. Trauma just means blueprint. It's a blueprint in the whole holistic person. That's the difference. It's not a trauma in the body, I just break my rib. But that rib was break because your father punished you. It's different trauma. So trauma for me is more holistic. It's the whole human being has a blueprint. So mastering stress comes from people that know how to, in 5 seconds, is an example in this analogy, can traumatize in a good way, so you have a good trauma. So there are very few masters there that can do this.
What about as parents?
What?
What about us as parents?
With our kids?
Yeah, with our kids. Can we affect them a lot using this kind type of method? Not punish them and teach them, and how does it go?
I don't consider me a good father. I wish I could do everything I want to do with my daughter. I wish it. But we are humans. For example, I'm here. I will be with my daughter all the time, but that can be. About punishment, when you guide someone, that's something I learned from one of my instructors. And I thank them because that's what I am now, and I can be myself thanks to them. When you want to guide someone, there's 2 ways to guide people. By inspiration and by intimidation. Some people say intimidation is not good, but good leaders use both. It's just that normally you want to use inspiration. Normal. but some DNA. In sport, this is very common. Good coaches, they know some players, they need inspiration. They inspire them. But some students or players, it's just like intimidation. Hey, you are out if you don't do this. And you are rude with them. But that's personality. Makes sense what I'm saying? Sadly, no one teaches how to be good parents. There are many books. What I think is more, for me, is, of course, we need to use the heart. That's the basic principle. It's not about loving them. It's really use your heart. Like, this is not good. This is good. Makes sense? In some way, that's your first part, then goes to the brain, and then the brain's complete, you build them. But normally we tend to use our personality to teach our kids, which now is only automatic pilot. And you will build the same with them. So, punishment could be, if we agree at this moment, would be like taking them out of their comfort zone. So you have to be, I think, look, if I'm here, when I go to Texas in the woods, and I'm here and you put me in the woods, I don't know what to do, period. I'm a city guy, you know. I'm a city rat, you say rat. A rat of the city. I know what to do in the city. That definitely I know how to do it. But don't put me in the country. It's like, man, I'm dead. There are birds, there are rabbits. I'm just kidding. Big rabbits here. But that's normal. But so parents in these states, they teach their kids, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do that. And they punish to make them survive in that situation. So I won't use the word punish, but as parents, I think we have to use the proper stressors, speaking in this way, to put them to survive and prevail. Surviving and prevail is different. So to prevail in different situations is necessary, is mandatory. I don't agree that they have to have fear to something, to authority at this moment, but good authority. Otherwise, we have nothing, and it's what is happening today. You know, people don't respect authority. They just go, I can do it. Yeah, you do it, but you're going to be killed. Yeah, you do, and you're going to jail. Why? Because that's the law. But I don't like the law. Well, what do you want to do? The first thing we see will be, okay, do something so the law change. But now they don't have courage. Or they have fake courage. Make sense?
Yeah. So proper stressor in a safe environment is a good teacher.
Of course, and even for everything. And sometimes, really, 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 you have to not show them, but for example, what is the gift I want to give to my daughter? There are only two things I want for her, and this is personal. One thing would be how to defend herself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Why? Because I want that. I don't care if she doesn't study or she study or she just go to a cave and want to be there. I don't care. If she's happy, I'm happy. But no one has the right to try to do something she don't want to do. And sometimes it's mentally and sometimes it's physically. You need something, in my case. So that's one thing. And definitely, in my case, abuse of drugs. Which it would be like, now the danger is not outside, the danger is inside, it's inside herself. So in some way, that's my only two concerns, so I have to build skills for that, for my kids, okay?
Yeah. You said the word autopilot.
Autopilot, yeah.
Autopilot. And around we see a lot of people working on autopilot, myself as well, occasionally. Now I'm learning better to be out of that zone, but it happens A lot of things happens on autopilot, and people, in my opinion, what I've seen as my profession, as a physiotherapist as well, that they don't actually even understand it. They don't know that they are working in this autopilot. So would this little amount of stress be good for them, put them in a safe environment and stress them a bit to get out of their comfort out of the autopilot? Would this be helpful?
Yeah, well, we live in autopilot, that's a fact. We can't be all the time, self-conscious. What we want to build is the right skills for autopilot. What amazed me when I was young, I see the Top Gun movie, the famous, and I would get impressed with the famous F-15, the F-16, is it F-16 or F-15? This battle plane that opened the wings, and it's an old airplane from the U.S. Army that when it flies, it opened the wings. And
just seen a model of it, like a plastic model.
Okay,
yeah.
But to me, at that time, I thought, wow, that takes a lot of skills of the pilot. When do you open it, and then when do you? But then I realized, I'm sorry if I don't know the name. I have attention deficit.
Yeah.
So this it's real. I had to took medicine for a while, so I don't remember if F-15, F-16. But at that time, I thought, wow, that takes a lot of skills. When do you open it? When do you close it? But then I realized when I studied that it's software, depending on for maintaining the airplane flying. But using that analogy, we want to build skills in our daily life, professional could be, that make us have good suspension. But normally we don't put the right suspension, so our airplane is like, going up, down, turbulence, but it's not real turbulence. You don't have the proper behaviors, which would be the skills. You don't have proper behaviors. So you think it's turbulence. No, it's you have wrong software. So you want to make a software that has the good behaviors so you don't have more conscious of them. But for changing these behaviors, you need conscious. So that we go again. You have to change the behaviors that are proper for the mission. You just say my daily life, my relations, my work, my sport. So you don't have more conscious, and you are an automatic pilot flying without turbulence. So now your conscious can be aware or focus on what is important now. But normally we just build wrong behaviors. So we are doing wrong things. So automatic pilot is good. We need that. It's just we need the right software built in that subconscious mind, which we are not alert. So that takes conscious to be, again, see you in the mirror and find what is wrong with you.
Yeah. So the problem is maybe not the right word, but usually it is in you and not in the surroundings and in the other persons.
No, that's true. What is stressful for me is not stressful for you. I just say it. If I'm in the country, I'm stressed. When I was in Canada or even here, I say, can I walk? And there's no pumas or bears here. And they say, yeah, there are bears. And I think, thank you very much. I'm going to stay in my room. Why? Because I don't know what to do. I just see Discovery Channel, but I don't know what to do. That makes me stressed. But I see other guys walking. I say, hey, yeah. They send me a picture. One guy sent me a picture in Canada with a bird like 50 meters. He say, hey, this is a bird. And it was a blackbird, big blackbird. And I say, wow, I would be scared and run. I say, no, you don't run. You want to hide or do some things. You see, what is stressful for you is not stressful for me. So it's different. You have to find what makes you stress.
How about you yourself? How have you learned to cope with the stressful situations? What have been your tools to master that?
Oh, you just know, it's breathing. Breathing is basic. It doesn't mean you need to learn a whole method. It doesn't mean it's good if you make profound. But it's just making a behavior, that's what is the difficult part. Every time you feel or have a sensation that makes you uncomfortable, make a deep breath. That's more simple. Like, okay, you will fail many times. From 10 times it happened, you will fail like 9. Then you will success 1. And that's the path. There will always be something that makes you stress. All the time. Something is going to make you stress. So you have to learn that accept that you're going to fail many times, but you are trying it. You're trying it. Like in a normal life, right? If you are a specialist, Olympic player, Olympic results, police, military, fireman, paramedic, it's different. You are a specialist now. That demands you to be more calm for that situation. And we have to agree, specialists pay the price. You interview a lot of them. They pay the price for being in that level of successful, of calmness. Very few people, or the majority, they pay the price. And it's a price you accept, right? It's a price you accept. You say, I want to be the best one in the world. You have to hear yourself, really. And it's nice. Really, it's nice. It's nice to be the best one in the world. What price you have to pay? It's different for everybody. Some people pay with the body, some people pay in the mind, some people pay in the soul. You have to pay a price. It's not free. Being the best is not free. Very few can get out or can be normal. Very few. But if you notice, not many. I think we can. It would be good. I think there's a method that we can put more people in this group. But for that, you need a lot of love from the person that is training them. That's true. And normally, person love them, but they want the results. Makes sense? It has to be a really nice combination of love with skills, with coaching, with mentoring, and of course with the material, because I want to be the 100-meter dash champ. No, you can't. Yeah, but I want it. No, you can't. But I really want it. I'm going to train. No, you can't. Even if I train you, you can't. You don't have the DNA. Sorry. Makes sense. You are short. Old. Makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand the acceptance of the different situations.
Yeah, very good.
But as you spoken here, that there is, for all of us, there's a chance to learn to cope the stressful situations better and be more conscious in the situations and in our everyday life to ease up the pressure we have.
Yes.
So that's a good lesson to learn here, that we all can do it. We just need to understand it.
Normally, you know the answer. That's what I found at this moment. Normally, we have problems. Normal. Let's say I'm normal. Okay, I'm not saying we are not normal. But you have job, you have relationships, you have our stressors in reality is around our more primal necessities, which is territory, house, food, and reproduction. So it's relations, home, reproduction, family, and the first one, territory, sex, and food. So everything we do is around them. Everything. You just watch it. It's just we put nice names around it, and we put nice things, material. But the reality is, stress is around these three. Of course, life and death situation is the whole group. You don't have anyone, so it's like the situation. So everything is around them. And you have the solution normally, but you don't want to do it. That's, let's say, toxic relations. You know you're in a toxic relation. What is toxic? Because I don't accept, but it's a term that we need to understand. Some people say, hey, that's a toxic relation. But they are happy. You don't know relations. Some people are happy with that. Yeah, but it's toxic. Yeah, but look at them. Yeah, but they are fighting. But they're happy. I know people that they don't fight, they are not happy. But that's not the perfect. I don't care, they are happy. You know what I mean? Some people can live with in small place, in a back, you know, and in their heart they are happy. They don't need more. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. There's no judgment, but they are happy. So you want to take out this happiness? Who are you to take out this happiness? Well, now, where do I go? Normally you have the answer. You don't feel good.
Oh, yeah.
You don't like it. So why are you there? Oh, because why? Why? Because I have responsibilities. The best thing you can teach to your kid is, hey, do what you want with your heart, not with your mind. You want this, work for it. Makes sense?
Yeah.
That makes you stress, so you don't really know the answer. What do animals do? They change. There's no more food, let's change. Oh, but I want to be, the view is beautiful. Animals don't go like, hey, the view is beautiful, but there's no food. Hey, but Papa Bear is saying, well, but look at the beautiful. We have this huge land, but there's no food, Papa. But look at this. Makes sense, they change, they go. But I'm not saying go primitive. That's not I'm saying. But if you have stress in work, really stress that makes you be unhealthy, you have to reconsider. No, I don't want it. You have, okay, we manage. Do cardio. Okay, could be. It will help. It will help to manage it. Fitness, exercise, change food. It will help. Maybe. It depends on you. It depends. Maybe when you do exercise, you start to think, hey, that's not so important. I will be there. I will keep my job, but that's not so important. Because now I have something for me. Okay, it's balance. Now it's balance. That's what they say, found balance. Now I found balance. This is not good, but this is good. Okay, it's balance. Maybe. If it helps you and makes you reduce this mentality about this outside stressor is good. But normally, how do you manage the stress? You know in some way how to manage. It's just you don't want to take this decision. And sometimes you don't have the courage, like people beating your partner is beating you to hospital. You know it's not good, but you don't find courage. It's not easy. What I'm saying is not easy. That's a high stress situation. That needs help. That's when you need help. You could go ask for help, but then you don't want it. So it still makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's not really be real complicated. You just need to do it, or you just need to be honest with yourself. Hey, I don't like this. What do you want to do? I don't know. You know. Okay.
Hey, thank you so much for sharing this very important knowledge and information about managing stress.
Yeah.
And hope to see you here next time again when you come back to Finland.
Well, I hope Jonathan invite me next year also. I've been coming now for 4 years, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot. But I enjoy here. I really like Finland. I enjoyed a lot of the food. It's good here. I enjoy people. People tend to say, "Oh, we are very cold," but the truth is not. You are not cold. No, that's reality. That's real. There are not cold people. It's just that it's different way of expressing their hearts. It's different, but that doesn't mean you don't have heart. Cold means no heart. It's hard.
That's also one. to get rid of the stressful situations is to understand different cultures and things like this as well. But we don't go there now because thank you so much.
No, thank you, Tommy. It's always a pleasure, and I'm happy for you.